Call Allah Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth, peace, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Welcome to today's lesson. Today's lesson it's on a video that shout out to the brothers over at GMS Vegas. Okay, that made this video. Okay, this video is pardon me for not having the brother's name, but this is a good, wonderful video that he did. I just wanted to touch on a few things concerning this lesson and a few things that's in it. Okay, because this is the I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Christian Jake woman has terrifying dream of wild beast. Now, the things that are about to come, that are about to happen in the world, are going to be terrifying. It's going to be creatures that are newly created, that are going to be going off. It's going to be a zombie-like humanoid creatures going off. It's going to be actual humans turned into zombies. You know, once they get, you know, that llama link. I'm trying to think of a different word than neural or neural. Llama link, you know, to their minds, you know, and people are going to be psyched out on that. Plus all the other wild things that are going to be happening. Starvation. The Bible says our people are going to be going back to cannibalism. You know, these are things that are going to be happening. You women, you know, Eve, y'all going to be, you know, eating your own children. These things are going to be happening. Deuteronomy 28 and 40, starting in the 40s and read on through. You know, it's just so much going to be happening. Lamentations, chapter 2 4. It's just amazing all the different things that's going to be happening. You know, it's going to be aberrations, ghosts, all kinds of demons and different things. It's going to be appearing and disappearing. You know, appearing and grabbing people and then disappearing. You know, it's going to be a lot of different things that's going to be happening. And, you know, and Yahweh Shai did say that he will pour out his spirit upon all flesh. See, so even the heathens, even the Edomites, you know, and these women are going to prophesy and speak about the dreams that they've had, you know. And they're supposed to have, as a woman, she more definitely supposed to have a head covered. And but you know, she's a Christian woman, so you know they believe in come as you are, you know. And she's supposed to have a righteous male covering. She's supposed to be 60 years older and no longer bleeding in between her legs. In order for a woman to be a prophetess, you know, a lot of women don't realize that or know that. Some guys don't either, you know. But that's what a woman had to be in order to be a prophetess. Anyway, we're gonna go off into this because I thought this was a really neat video, and I wanted to get into a little bit of it. Let's get started.
I don't want to make this too long of a video, but you know, she took a while to explain the dream that she had, but just be patient, and we're just gonna play through it. And I'm gonna just add my scriptural reference to everything that I hear that's you know, relevant to scripture, you know, because we're in them times, man, and you know, we got to be in a serious mind frame and constantly watching unto prayer.
Right.
All right. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
It's time to get real with God. Church people, if you're not really saved, it's time to get really saved. And if you're not anchored in God, it's time to get anchored in God. And I'm so sorry that I fear God. I fear God. And what I was hearing in the dream and what I was seeing and experiencing in this dream
like I said, this is a Christian woman, but you could tell that she was terrified. She probably didn't even think to cover her head, because when you do pray or prophesy as a woman, you're supposed to have your head covered. So hey, you fear. One of the ways to fear the Most High is to follow instructions. Keep His commands. All right, there's order. The Most High, He wants His people in order. All right, and the remnant right now is who's being ordered. Okay, so anyway, let's continue.
This man, I can't shake this man that was in the dream that was giving me instructions on what to do. It was like he was in the military, and he had trying not to cry, and he had prepared.
You see, a lot of you women is not gonna, have a man to come around to help you, to assist you. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9. Arise, ye women of the east. This is not your resting place. Okay, take heed to my speech. It's not your resting place. You see, and a lot of women have made this their resting place. The venture shall fail you. The gathering shall not come. The venture shall fail you. So like it, roughly paraphrasing. But a lot of these women, they become comfortable here. They consider themselves queens and boss ladies and all these different things. And watch when the time comes when these women have to go through Isaiah chapter 3. A lot of these women are going through it now, but watch when it's happening on an overall. You see, what's going to happen then?
It's like he was very skilled at whatever it is that he do. My God, and he had all his.
So like, man, that was Satan that made me do that.
He do.
And I was Satan. I didn't mean to press that forward button to the next video, but she's basically describing a guy that appeared in her dream, and he basically warned her. He was basically telling her, hey, get prepared, get you a house, get you a weapon, and basically prepare yourself. All right?
You see, and a lot of women right now, they taking the time to go and they get their CPLs and their license, and they go and buy them a gun, because they can buy them a gun. Then, a lot of you young females ain't got no felonies. Guys do, girls don't. Okay, and so they're going to buy them a gun, right? And so they good, and they go to the shooting range, okay? And they good at shooting at the little shot sheet, target shot sheet. They hit the head and everything, the chest, and all this and that and stuff, But what about a moving target that's moving back and forth and firing, returning fire at them? Okay, what about then? A lot of these women are going to be in trouble. They think just because they got a gun, a firearm, that makes them, so invincible. They want to do what? Usurp authority over man. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. I suffer a woman not to teach nor to usurp authority over man. Some women, they enjoy that. A lot of women become police officers, security guards, and all different types of things. Why? Because they want to usurp authority over man. The time is coming when they're going to need a man. And they're going to wish that they had a righteous male covering, flat out.
And it kind of, based on how she's describing it, it kind of reminds me of that scene in, what was that movie that came out on Netflix? I believe it was the beginning of last year. Leave the World Behind. All right, and you had the character that was played by, what was his name? Was it Russell Crowe? One of those actors, but in the movie, I think the characters. Damn, what was his name, man? I hate that I forgot the character's name, but he was the guy that was seen preparing himself before everything started going down. He was buying up cases of water. He had weapons and all that. And he was basically telling them, y'all have no idea what's getting ready to come. All right. But basically preparing himself. Matter of fact, Salakia, I said Russell Crowe. I believe it was the name of the character name was Dan. All right, which the word Dan means judge in the Hebrew. Okay, but he was the character was played by Kevin Bacon. You know, my brain was going blank trying to think about it, but yeah, it was played by Kevin Bacon. All right, and you can see that he knew what the masses of the people did, and he prepared himself. Now the scriptures say, Proverbs 22 and verse 3, and it says, "A prudent man perceiveth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." All right, and most of our people, they love to be in a comfort zone. They don't want to have to worry about nothing. They don't want to think that anything evil can come their way. So they don't do anything to, prepare themselves. They don't take any warnings serious. All right, our people so caught up in, the pleasures of this world to even be thinking about any type of evil coming their way. We've been out there for years, all right, and you see the attitude of the people that walk by. They act like there's nothing to even worry about. We're just random men on a street corner with Bibles, and we don't know what the hell we're talking about, and we're crazy.
And they don't even consider Yahweh Shai, Isaiah chapter 1 and 3. They don't even consider, because their minds be so focused. A lot of these young people are so caught up on themselves that they're so caught up on today's want to be this, that, and the other. They want to be an influencer. They want to be big time. Back in the day when I was coming up, and back in the 60s and 70s, we ain't had no internet. We ain't had none of the YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. We ain't had none of that mess. We ain't have a microwave. We ain't had no cell phone. You know what I'm saying? What we had, it was what we had what we had was just about basically our minds and our imaginations and our abilities to create and do and achieve and do different things. These young people of today, they don't have that. They don't have that creativity in their minds to do things that are long-standing, which will be in the Word, with the instructions of the Word to sustain them. They're not concerned about that. They're only concerned about what they can do, how they can become an instant success, and it's all going to crumble down. See, because one thing they forget, whatever they heap onto themselves, they cannot keep none of it. None of it. None of it. They can't hold on none of it. When these martial law troops go coming through here, they're going to be doing reconnaissance missions. And they're going to be coming into people's houses. They're going to roll down the streets on the armored tanks, armored vehicles, and they're going to be on the PA, letting people know to come outside. They're going to have all the women and children line up on one side of the sidewalk, and the young men line up on the other side of the sidewalk. And as they walk on down through there, they're going to have the young men go and get on the draft bus. Okay, so they can take them away to the boot camps. Okay, and if they try to defect, they're gonna get shot in the back. Okay, because it's gonna be martial law. It ain't gonna be no plan. Ain't gonna be no game.
But it's gonna be interesting, because when that time comes, they're gonna remember. They're gonna remember that we were out there. They're gonna remember the message, and they're gonna hate that they didn't take it serious.
Right.
Like it says in Ezekiel, "Then shall it be known that a prophet have been among you." Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ezekiel 33.
Get back to it.
My God, and he had all of his equipment. He was ready for whatever this was fixing to happen.
Yeah, these women's heads gonna be hanging out.
Whatever was going to happen, he was being prepared. And he came to me. He was in this hotel. But it ended up being like, it transpired from out of the hotel to like little portable schoolhouses kind of things. And he was telling the people to get them a portable schoolhouse. He was telling them, trying to prepare them to get them somewhere, I guess, to take cover or to hide. And the people was all sitting down again. Like it's like it was a church kind of. It was something dealing with the church. I'm not going to add to this. It was something dealing with the church. And the church people was sitting around talking, just relaxed. The kids was playing like outside, and nobody was taking the man serious that he was up there telling them, y'all need to get ready to get y'all a house. Y'all need to be finding you a house. But anyway, I had a house in this like school podium. You know how they had them little school podium.
Let them want
and I heard the man was coming in there spraying this stuff in the houses, in the podiums and stuff. And I was saying, I was on his trail. Everywhere he went, I was on his trail because I knew something. I knew he was serious, and I knew something was going to take place.
And see, just like when the time comes, these women, they gonna drop down in spirit. They gonna feel it in their spirit that this is the time, this is the moment when they reach. When you go through Isaiah chapter 3 and you get down to the last part of verse 25, verse 26, when the mighty young men of war gonna be taken up, when they can no longer call on their brother, they uncle, they boyfriend, when they can no longer call on men to do what they want, when they can no longer call the police, because when martial law declared, 911 gonna be turned off, flat out. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these women is going to be in horror. They're going to be terrified because they the main one. They rely on 911. So when 911 is off, that's it. Check the videos for Pennsylvania and Florida and Philly. 911 has been turned off there. And the video the women are making from there.
So I wanted to be close to him because he was very skilled. He knew what he was talking about. He was shooting this stuff all around the windows and doors. He said, seal these doors up, seal these windows up, seal them, make sure you seal them tight.
You see, and these women, they're going to realize they need a man. They're going to realize this now. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 2, your man should be as a hiding place, And so against these strong winds, what I'm saying, these nuclear winds, it's going to take a righteous man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these women, they're going to realize that, and they're going to drop all this wickedness. Yahweh says he's going to remove the arrogancy, off the face of the proud. You see, and these women to be acting so arrogant, acting with an attitude all the time. Acting like, they some Miss Queen B, Miss Queen it, Miss Queen piece of shit. And that's about all it is. Flat out. You know what I'm saying?
I seal him. That's all I can keep hearing him say, seal him. And so I said, he gave me a knife. And he said, you're going to need some weapons. And he gave me this knife.
You see, Yahweh Shai said, Luke chapter 22, verse 36 through 38. Buy yourself a sword. Sell your cloak if you have to, but buy yourself a sword. You know what I'm saying? And the disciples, they did that. Yahweh Shai didn't cut into them. They didn't cut into him. He cut into them. And he didn't cut into them right now. Because right now, Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16, we are fishers of men right now. But the time is coming. Amos chapter 8, verse 11, when it's going to be a famine of the word. You know what I'm saying? And that's when it's going to be time to martial the law. We ain't going to be able to be on the streets. That's going to be the time when Yahweh Shai said, when he said now, but now I say unto you, that's going to be the now when you buy yourself a sword. No, we're not going to rely on our swords. No, we're not. Remember, just like the brother from Vegas, he's about to bring out King David. He said that no, we should not. He did not trust in his bow and his arrow. He didn't. And we're not supposed to trust in our bow and our arrow. But remember this: David did have a bow and arrow.
Yeah, seal your homes up. Hey, something serious is about to happen. And it reminds me of this in Isaiah, 24th chapter. It's Isaiah 24. And we'll start at verse 7. That says, the new wine mourneth, the wine languisheth, all the merry-hearted do sigh. The mirth of tabrets ceaseth, Because our people, they love to party, they love to be entertained, they love to just be in mirth.
Yep.
The scriptures tell you in Ecclesiastes, the house of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the house of fools is in the house of mirth.
Yeah.
You know, because they have no idea, all right, that evil is lurking. So when you in that spirit, you're not thinking about anything evil, all right? It says, they shall not drink wine with a song. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up.
You see?
That no man may come in. All right, that's the main scripture that I had in mind. He said that they board your homes up, close it up. So it can get like that. Protect yourself from intruders, desperate people. Protect yourself from wild animals that's out there because they hungry.
Yeah.
That's that right there, man.
Sedition amongst men.
Because of the level of fear. These people, they have no clue, and they could be nonchalant all they want, but
just wait till when the time come when they start flipping these switches on all this nano microscopic technologies that they place inside everybody's bodies by way of these heavy metals and different things. Just wait till when they start flipping switches and they start frying people from within. It's going to be crazy as hell, man. I've seen a video, the different weaponry that Edom has. It is insane. The weaponry that he has. Did you know that Esau is Edom? He has the ability. He got this laser thing up in the sky they got on the satellites that he can zoom down, a beam down, an energy beam, and like you put metal in a microwave and it sparks. He can do that same thing to the heavy metal that's in our bodies. The same shit.
We know that these times are definitely going to come upon us, man. All right, and that's why we exhort, brothers and sisters, not to get too comfortable.
All right.
Do not get too comfortable here. We're finna go on a very drastic journey. Finna see a bunch of things, and Lord finna, put us to the test.
Right. You see, and a lot of brothers right now, flat out, are not ready. Not ready. You see, because the time is coming when I had made a video some years back called Yahweh is going to bust up all of the camps in every brother, little stronghold situation, because Yahweh wants to see where every man is at on his own accord. What precious metal are you? What precious stone are you? We gather good strength and motivation from each other. But what about when the time comes when a man wanna just talk and conversate with another man and he can't? But he's the only man in that city. What about when the time comes? When you find yourself with the bug out or bug in and you're by yourself, nobody else. You're gonna have to draw strength on what we gather now. Now is the time to gather our strength. Study what? Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. We study to show ourselves approved to who? Yahweh. A workman need not be ashamed. We got to be ashamed. Rightly dividing the word of truth. You know what I'm saying? Flat out.
Just pray that the Lord give you this ability to get through it. Let's continue.
He had all these big old guns and all of this stuff. And he gave me the knife and he said, "Do you have a gun?" And I said, "Not here." And he said, "Well, you're going to have to go get you a gun." And so he gave me the money and another man took the...
Now, naturally people, their instinct to for survival is to get a weapon. Us in our faith, we understand that the Heavenly Father, He's gonna protect his elect, through divine intervention. It tells us that in Psalms, the 34th chapter, that the angels encamp round about those that fear him. So, we per se, we're not going to put our trust in, carnal weapons, because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Even David said, I will not trust in my bow, neither will my sword save me.
And this is true. David did say that. And we are looking for Yahweh Shai to save us. Psalms chapter 119, verse 94. For I am yours, save me, for I have sought thy precepts. And so, but one thing we all also should take note of is the fact that David did have a bow and an arrow. He didn't trust in it. He didn't rely on it. He knew that it could not save him. But he did have one. And he did use it. So take note of that. We remember Yahweh said, Luke chapter 22, verse 36 through 38. But now I say unto you, buy yourself a sword. Not right now. This is not the time for us to be like you see IUIC or some of them other camps. They are considered Black Hebrew Israelite camps, and you see how they carrying guns and stuff all like that. No, we ain't supposed to be doing no mess all like that. No, that's not what we. No, then we just be a bunch of militants or some mess. No, that ain't what we're trying to do. The time will come, you will know when, Yahweh. There are brothers inside Apostle Dahar's camp, as well as a brother from San Francisco Bay camp, a brother Skanat. He also had a dream where he was going through the town with some brothers, and Jacob's trouble broke out, and he found himself being shot at, busted by some 2/3, and in a dream, he wound up taking a gun from the 2/3 and busting back. You see, and then a guy in Apostle Tahar's camp, the guy that sounded like he's from British or something, he had a video. He was talking about. He had a dream. He had a dream where he said he found himself in the dream where he had a pistol in one hand and a rifle in the other, and he was popping off. So there are different things that Yahweh Shai is doing with us, and the only thing we can do is just wait and see what Yahweh Shai said. Wait ye upon the Lord. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 8.
But it's going to be through Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right? That we're going to get through it. But there's no sin in you actually having a weapon. If you think you might need a weapon, whatever it is that may be, that's your business. Protect your home, or you got children and you want to protect them. There's no sin in that, all right? But just know overall that
one thing that I found to be very refreshing, praying over your weapons. It might sound weird, okay, but one thing I found to be spiritual, I guess. I don't know what to say, but praying over your weapons, because I've prayed over mine that anytime that I use them, that I don't have to use them. That anytime that I do, or if I want to, that Yahweh making sure that my aim is straight. Have the angels to make sure that my aim is straight, directly to the target, to bring down the target, to bring down the enemy, to destroy the enemy's stronghold, to bring down any type of way that the enemy could have teeth against me, that the enemy be completely destroyed. You know what I'm saying? In the name of Yahweh Shai. You understand? Not to be that my will, that the creature is destroyed. It is destroyed because it is the will of Yahweh. You understand? And he just using me as a vessel at that time. You understand? But it is not for us to be seeking vengeance. No, because vengeance is who Yahweh shines. It belongs to him, not us.
that's not gonna save you through the time of the tribulation or trouble that we're going to go through. All right, so don't put your lock, stock, and barrel or trust into a carnal weapon. Okay, but anyway, let's continue.
Money, but he took the money back from that man and gave it to me. He said, "You need to go buy you a gun." I said, "I'm gonna buy me a 38." He said, "No, you better buy you a 9. You better buy you a Glock." I don't even know what.
You see that? Now what did she say? She said, she said, "I'm gonna go buy me a 38." Now 38. Now back when I used to work security at the I got over 20 or 25 years experience in working security, all kinds of security, plain clothes, armed, unarmed, uniformed, foot patrol, mobile patrol, residential, construction, retail, housing officer, you name it. I've done security at banks. All I've done security everywhere, and so. I remember hair salon. I remember one of the guns that we used to train with was a 38, the big midnight special. And see, and what did I just got to saying? Luke chapter 22, verse 36 through what 38. You know what I'm saying? 38. Those are 2 calibers. The Lord wouldn't put that together for no reason. And the disciples came back with what? 2 swords. Look, Rabbi, we have 2 swords. And what did Yahweh say? And did he say, what? You guys got 2 swords? I said, buy yourself only 1 sword. You guys are thugs, heathens. No, he didn't do all that. He didn't do all that, and he didn't kick him out the camp. Okay? He didn't do all that, and he didn't kick him out the camp. Instead, what did he say? He said, that is enough. And they went on their way to the Mount Olive and so you can pray. You know what I'm saying? And when they got there, and the food came at them, and Malchus came at the Lord, what did Simon Peter do? Bam! He smoked the ear of Malchus. You know what I'm saying? So Malchus must have been a Jake. On the wrong side of damn 2/3. He got whacked by Peter. But let's continue.
A Glock is, okay? I don't know. I know I own a 38 gun, but I don't know what a 9 Glock is, okay? But in the dream, he told me, no, you're going to need something stronger than a 38. You need to get you a Glock. You need to get you a 9, whatever the 9 is, Glock, right? And so I said, okay. I told the other man that was in there, I said, I'm going to find me a 9. I'm going to buy me a gun. And he said, good luck. He said, we in a week. He said, we in a, Lord, I can't remember, Jesus, help me, Holy Ghost with me. He said, it's almost like we in a weak area. We in a, like, I guess like how you go in a war area that don't have as much stuff. And so he was like, well, we're in a weak area of some of the sort of that sort. It may not be exactly that, but it was some on that lines. And I was like, my goodness. And so this man, I never saw his face. All I saw was the back of him. He was very muscular. He had a low haircut. His hair was cut low. It wasn't long. It was low. And his hair was black. And he kind of resembled my pastor, Brother Reed, from the back. But I couldn't see the front. Even when the man gave me the knife, I could not see his face. I never saw his face.
Brother Reed.
And this is what's so scary. He said, y'all better get ready. They was laughing at him, who he think he is. And I kept trying to go tell the people. I said, hey, he was saying y'all need.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and close it out right there. I just wanted to touch on a few points, concerning, this wonderful lesson that the brother from GMS Vegas done. And yes, things are about to touch off and get really, really wild. So, only thing we can do now is maintain and staying focused within His word. Keep yourself occupied in His word until Yahweh Shai returns. And so, and that's it. So, brothers and sisters, hold on. Stay strong. We ain't got long. And go ahead and close it on out. I'd like to give all praise and all honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone that taught us the truth. Peace. And salutation to the hope of the elect. Shalom. Kwam Yasharala to the hope of the elect. Abba Babal.